Hello, my name is Alyssa Hulthen, and I am a third-year undergraduate student studying Communication Sciences and Disorders at Bowling Green State University. The research that I am presenting was my undergraduate honors project. This project was completed in the Dual Language Learning Lab under the direction of Dr. Virginia Dubasik. My study examined the productive syntax of triplets. The theoretical foundation of this project lies in the interactionist perspective. In this perspective, genetics and the environment both play a role in the language development of all children. The assumptions of this perspective are that children's genetic makeup influence their language development, and that children growing up in different environments may have different outcomes in terms of language. Research shows that while genetic factors are more influential at later ages, environmental factors play a large role in the early ages of development. Studies that have examined environments of multiples indicate that the environment of multiples is different from singletons in that there is less parental language directed to multiples, and multiples are consistently around same-age peer language. These differences in the environment yield differences in the language development of multiples and singletons. Several studies have compared the productive syntax of multiples and singletons at young ages. The main findings of this work suggest that when compared with singletons, multiples exhibit a lower mean length of utterance, show a delay in terms of MLU for what is expected of their age, and females generally outperform males on measures of productive syntax. Although studies to date have compared differences between multiples and singletons, no study to date has explored variability within multiples and whether or not variability persists into adolescence. Prior work has offered insight into factors that influence language development, but there is a lack of knowledge about the individual differences within multiples. An understanding of individual variation in typically developing multiples will add to the knowledge base on typical development, thus informing intervention efforts with multiples with delays. This study addressed two research questions. The first one was, is there variability in the early productive syntax of triplets? The second research question was, to what extent does variability persist into later language? Participants of my study were one set of fraternal triplets, two females, which were triplets S and A, and one male, triplet I. They were born at 37 weeks gestation and are monolingual English speakers. This study examined the triplets at two time points. At time 1, the triplets were between the ages of 18 and 36 months. At time 2, the triplets were 15 years, 10 months. At time 1, language samples were extracted from home videos, which were recorded during daily activities while the triplets were interacting with each other, parents, and a sibling. At time 2, language samples were elicited using expository text prompts. All three triplets were asked the same 4 questions individually. The clinical evaluation of language fundamentals, 5th edition, was also administered at time 2 to derive standard scores. Samples from both time points were transcribed and coded using standard conventions of the systematic analysis of language transcript software. Analyses were based on finalized transcripts. Productive syntax was measured by MLU, MLU in words, and standard scores on the expressive language subtest on the SLP-5. So recall that research question 1 concerned variability in early productive syntax, which was time 1. To answer this question, language samples taken from home videos were obtained to analyze both MLU and MLUW. The triplets MLU and MLUW were not the same at time 1. MLU ranged from 2.22 to 2.53, and MLUW ranged from 2.17 to 2.42. And recall that research question 2 concerns the extent to which variability persists in later language. To answer this question, language samples taken from the expository text samples were obtained to analyze MLU and MLUW again. At time 2, which was 15 years, 10 months, MLU ranged from 5.71 to 6.59, and MLUW ranged from 5.24 to 6.06. Standard scores on the expressive language subtest of the SLP-5 were compared at time 2. Scores for the expressive language index ranged from 95 to 117. In order to determine patterns within the triplet set, triplets were ranked according to performance. At time 1, 18 to 36 months, for MLU and MLUW, the triplets were ranked from highest to lowest and fell in the order of S, I, then A. At time 2, 15 years, 10 months, the triplets fell in the same order, with S having the highest MLU and MLUW and A the lowest. Patterns of performance were very similar with standard scores on the SELF-5. Triplet S consistently scored the highest, and triplets A and I varied in how they ranked in comparison to one another. Results revealed differences in the early productive syntax within this set of triplets. Triplet S had the highest MLU and MLUW, and Triplet A had the lowest at both time points. A similar pattern of performance was observed on the SELF-5, with Triplet S outperforming triplets A and I. These results revealed that individual differences within the triplet set did persist, with rankings remaining in the order of S, I, then A. Female triplet S outperformed male triplet I on measures of productive syntax, while male triplet I outperformed female triplet A. Performance was more so related to skill in this particular study than it was to sex, since the female triplets did not consistently outperform their male sibling. These results are best based on a single set of triplets. I am interested in continuing this work and plan to add to my sample size in order to detect statistically significant differences within triplets. If you have any questions regarding this study, please feel free to contact me at ahulthe@bgsu.edu. Thank you.